I can't believe I hit my mic within the first like half second of starting. Oh jeez. But yeah, hi, welcome back to yeah. Art, I guess. But yeah. Okay, so we're gonna continue our illustration from last time. What was it? Sorry, I'm looking up my references right now, so give me a second. Okay. There, okay. We're gonna do our piece from last time, so our piece from last time. So you can tell that I made a whole bunch of changes already, so yeah, it shouldn't be too much of a problem, I guess. So yeah. I'm just mainly I think I'm gonna okay, wait, hold up. I think what I'm going to do today is line art. So I'm gonna finish the line art mainly. That's basically what I'm going to do, and that's that, I guess. I'm starting to think that I should have done all the line art in black, because there's a lot of hair detail. So there's a hi Toll. Hi, how's it going? It's quite late for you right now, Toll. You should go to sleep. You should very much so go to sleep. Okay, where's my references? Oh, there they are. I'm sick, so I can't sleep. Oh no. Hope you feel better soon. I hope. But yeah. Right. Okay, so that's hair. I'm on the wrong layer. Hope you get well soon. It's 5:18. Jeez. Go back and try to sleep. Try and get some rest, because you can't get better if you don't sleep. That's how it is. I don't make the rules. That's just how it is. No, I'll do this. Yeah. So I want this to come in a bit more in an angle, so I'll just do that. But yes, please. Go to sleep and recover as much as possible. And then yeah. But yeah, hope you get well soon and everything else, I guess. Meanwhile, I shall suffer by drawing, because I have no idea how to draw. That's a fun fact. You may think I'm drawing, but I'm actually not. Okay. I need to erase that. Oh jeez. This face. Okay. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna need to change all of this after. Obviously, this is just a guide, so it is just so that I get like a general sense of where the eyes are, and also makes it look less creepy. I slept 6 o'clock yesterday. Okay, but still, catch some sleep, or try your best. Okay, so line art is over there. I'll try and do that. There we go. Yeah, so it should be like this, and then you should get sort of a actually, let me check the reference. Yesterday. I hope you meant like recently. Okay. I keep hitting my mic. I should stop doing that. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna erase this. And then have it go over here. Okay, there we go. This should be it should be going across it. This should be going here. Okay. A bit complex over there, but still. Okay. You're probably not even gonna see this. I don't even know I'm putting so much effort into this one thing. What I should be focusing on is actually hair. The hair over here. Okay, so the hair over here is kind of flat, but it's also kind of spiky as well. So it's sort of like so it's sort of like sort of, wait, hold up, I want that. Okay. What are you drawing? Oops, what are you drawing? I'm just trying to, I don't know. I'm just drawing a character from a mobile game I used to play. I mean, I still occasionally play it, sort of revisit everything. But yeah, it's, wait, which layer is that from? What? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's sort of like a how do I best describe alter ego? So alter ego is it's like this weird personality test clicker game as well. I don't know, it's sort of a weird game to describe, but yeah, that's basically what alter ego is. And yeah, I played it back in 2019, so yeah, but it sort of just stuck with me throughout all this time. And I do like the I like the character designs of the game. That's why. And yeah, it was a game that was there at the right time and at the right place for me. But yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, that's that. Okay, so it's sort of like this. Yeah-ish. Okay, well that's okay. So it seems like the artist actually changed their style regarding how they drew her hair, which is nice. Her original hair was kind of ass. I'm gonna be honest. Okay. No disrespect to the original creator, but to the original artist. But I'm glad they sort of updated her design a bit. Okay, so it's sort of like okay, wait, which line does this follow? Oh, this one, I believe. But yeah. A game from my past, which is interesting. Okay. So this goes up here. This goes here, I think. So, sorry if I usually don't speak that much when I draw, because I'm trying to focus on stuff. So sorry if I'm a bit more quiet than usual. And this is, I'm already like 8 hours into this piece, which is I mean, I would say I'm pretty much on schedule for 8 hours and 24 minutes. Generally it does take me around that amount of time to fully finish like a piece, so or at least like come close to feel like finishing the line art and whatnot. So that's nice. Okay, I think so. I don't know, because it's only recently that Clip Studio Paint actually added like a work time function for their program. Before they didn't really have that, which is interesting, because you would assume that like a program would have like, oh yeah, here's the amount of time that you spent drawing, like from the get-go, but they didn't really have that until like for their 3.0 upgrade. So until for the update this year. Imagine you were drawing on papers you cannot press undo. I would just erase it. there's a thing called erasers, which is a thing. And yeah, I did used to draw on paper. But yeah. The way that I approached drawing on on traditional was the exact same way. I just sketched everything out, did the line art, traced the line art, traced the line art with like permanent ink rather than. So I did the sketch, the sketch in like lighter color, so then I could erase it, and then I traced. Well, I didn't trace over the sketch, but then I drew over the sketch with a darker erasable like darker pencil, and then I traced over the finished sketch with a like with ink or whatever, and then yeah, that makes sure that I don't really have any mistakes. So it's the same approach, it's just different mediums. For me personally, I know some people use digital art as like a shortcut and whatnot, which I guess I do sometimes, but generally, even if I don't have my tablet, I can draw on paper. I just don't really do it. Eraser doesn't. How dark? How hard do you press with your pencil? Because if you do it really lightly, or depending on the graphite or the is it graphite of the carbon of the pencil, generally you can erase it really quite easily. So yeah. Okay. Here, there we go. He didn't know you have hair in the back of your neck, so yeah, too hard. Well, I guess. Yeah, I mean, in your case, that's probably it. That's probably what's causing it. Okay, so okay. Okay. No. Do this. Because if you do everything and you hold the pencil sort of like at the fingertips, it's pretty easy to just draw it very, very lightly, right? So yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. Here we go. Okay, there we go. It's just faster on digital. Because if I did it with traditional mediums, it would be kind of slower, but still. Style-wise, but I think stylistically and time-wise, it'll be kind of similar. And honestly, I'm too poor to draw traditional, because traditional art is so expensive. All the materials for traditional art are so expensive. I mean, you could like draw like with a pencil and whatnot, but you know, you sort of want like the fancy stuff to get the best result for everything. Because I don't. It's like, I've spent all this time on all of this, and you know, I want the best for my piece. And sometimes the cheap stuff just won't cut it. So, yeah. I'm gonna need to add some texture in the hair. Should I do? God, now that I'm starting to wonder, should I do? Should I do everything on one? God, I'm debating whether I should do it with freaking purple or black. Because there's quite a lot of. This is annoying. There's quite a lot of strands from this. Actually, I mean, obviously I could change the color later on, but I would rather decide on the color this instant. So it's sort of like this, I guess. So it sort of curves over there. Sort of like that. Yeah, okay. Okay, I can do in purple, I think. Probably. Because purple's my signature line art color. Why would I ever want to not use purple for anything? Except I might look weird. My school is a private school, so there is some expensive drawing stuff. I see. That makes a bit more sense. Okay. Like, I assume there's like Faber-Castell and whatnot. Okay. You know what? Sure, I'll draw a bit more loose with this, so then it's sort of easier to gotta add some texture to this overall. So sort of like that. Because the original art style for this character, it's quite rough. So there's quite a lot of texture for the original piece, and there's a lot of it's really imperfect, which is interesting. But that's the whole point of fan art. It's to draw things in your style, and this is my style, I guess. So, okay, so this is over here. Okay, so it's down over here. But yeah, also if I drew in traditional, it's gonna be hard to stream. So yeah, I mean each has their own advantages and disadvantages. But yeah, I went the digital route anyways. Okay, there we go. It's been, man, when did I start drawing? I think it's been like 2020 I started drawing digitally, because before I only drew traditional back then. So digital is a pretty, I wouldn't say new addition to my repertoire, because it's been like 4 years. So it's not new, but it's definitely something that I still struggle with. Then again, it's art. Everyone struggles with art. Never seen anyone who didn't struggle with art, to be honest. Oh, I see. I see what's the problem. I was like, that's looking kind of weird. Wait, no. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay, that's the problem. It's so sad because she stopped in my class today. She's my favorite. Bro, I hit the wrong bottom. Wrong button. Sorry, was it adjusting my mic? But yeah. What do you mean she stopped in your class, like she stopped teaching? Okay. So this continues along this line. So it should go about here, right? Should be, at least. Should be. Again, this is all just guesstimation and whatnot, so that should be it. That should be it. I do this. There's gonna be a bit more texture over here, or at least a couple more lines over here. Actually, no, I'll add the I'll add some more texture with the with black afterwards when I start rendering everything, because right now there's still line art phase. So I have some idea of what I want everything to sort of go towards. Okay, so this is all going down towards her braid over here. It sort of goes like this. Oh no, that sucks. That sucks. I mean, if you really want to, you could have, I don't know, went after school and sort of visited her and be like, okay, have a good one, or something like that. Yeah, that sucks. I had yeah, I had a, oh man, I think I had a teacher. I don't think she left mid-year, but she was no longer there. She only taught for 1 year, and she was my favorite teacher as well. But yeah, it do be like that sometimes. Okay, is that it? I think that might be it. Yeah, I'm gonna go over the line art one last time. So I'm gonna start outlining everything, which is basically what I'm doing. Oh, she stopped. I thought you meant like she was leaving school. Okay. Well, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. You're saying that? You're saying like, oh no, I missed my chance to say goodbye. Like, she was permanently leaving school. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's not too bad. If it was like a final goodbye, that would have been like, oh, you should have just gone, even though you were sick. If you really did like her that much. Yeah, that's good. I mean, English is fine. But I guess like English and math are like the two worst subjects for most kids. So I guess you're like, oh no, we lost a good teacher. Now we only have like the bad teacher for math. Cause I remember this is back in high school, in secondary, in secondaire 4, I want to say secondary 4, which is grade 10. We had a teacher that no one liked for our French class, and we're like, man, she sucks. I hope I'm sure we'll get a better teacher next year. And then like next year we got like our teacher, and then we're like, oh wow, she's horrible. We miss our old teacher where she was at least like competent at teaching. But yeah, you'll see her. It's fine. That's fine. It's not a final goodbye just yet. At least you still have the chance to say goodbye if she ever leaves permanently. So it's all good. It's all good. I hope they pay her well for teaching though. Because I honestly don't know how much private schools actually pay their teachers. Because I know in a lot of like education systems, like, man, they do not get paid much. Have to go my head. Oh, don't worry. Yeah, all right. See you. Hope you get well soon. Bye bye. Have a good night or good morning, I guess. Take care. Don't die, I guess. All right. See you. Okay. There we go. I mean, eventually like that's what I'm like. There's this very good Winnie the Pooh quote where he was like, how I don't remember what the exact quote was, but I'll paraphrase some of it. It's how lucky I am to have people that make saying goodbye so hard. And man, that line hit me hard. That line hit me so hard because it made me realize, oh man, there's so many people that I never had the chance to say goodbye to. I was like, oh crap. How I wish that sometimes I could actually get the chance to say goodbye to some people, but you know, I never got the chance because of circumstances and whatnot. So yeah, it's value your time in life or whatever, I guess, or value every single moment. There's a it's gonna sound my nerd side is gonna come out, but there's a Flash comic from sort of explain the Flash, like Barry Allen, Wallace West, Iris West, and all of those comic book characters. But there's a whatchamacallit. There was it was like a book dedicated, it was like a story dedicated to explaining like the origins of the Reverse Flash. But yeah, in that book there's actually a quote from Barry Allen where he says, "Every second is a gift." And it was like, yeah, that's a good line. It's legitimately a good line. Because you never realize that. You never realize how much you value time until it's gone. So it's like, it's a good reminder that every fleeting moment is important, that you have to sort of value every single moment. And you know, that's a good quote. It really is. It's a shame that like the freaking CW TV show never got that. All we had was like man, I'm gonna rant about the freaking CW Flash for a while, because I'm mad about that. I'm actually mad about that, because man, why did they do that? Why would they do that to my boy Barry Allen? Never, or any, like, that show was so poorly written after like season, I mean, I guess it always had like hiccups here and there, but like after season 3 the show was just not good. It was not good, which hurts me because I like the Flash as a character. The Flash, I think, is a very, very cool character, right? Especially with all the mythos surrounding him. Even though I think the recent mythos is kind of stupid. There's apparently there's like more forces in the universe aside from the Speed Force. So the Speed Force is how the Flash gets his powers. It's how like he runs at super speed, is because he can tap into this cosmic force called the Speed Force. Which I'm like, okay, well that's cool, I guess. Right? Because it's what makes Flash unique, right? But then they freaking added more forces. I'm like, what? Why? They added like the Strength Force, which is a stupid name. They added the I don't remember, what's it called? Like the Sage Force or something like that. It was something like that, where it's like some like psychic characters derive their psychic abilities from that force or whatever. I don't remember what it was. And then there was something like the Still Force, which is the opposite of the Speed Force, which I don't understand why that's a thing, because there's already the negative Speed Force. So why would there be two opposites to like the friggin' Speed Force. I don't know how that works. But yeah, they introduced like a whole bunch of forces to the Flash mythos. Which I don't think they introduced it really good. I think it was kind of bad the way that they introduced it. I mean, I guess it makes sense. So they tried like retconning some stuff for the other forces, like they've been here all this time and you just didn't discover them until now, because there's a flash villain called the Turtle who like slows down time around him or something along those lines, right? He rarely appears, the Turtle. The main Flash villains are always like the Rogues, so Captain Cold, Heat Wave. I almost said Heat Blast, but that's a Ben 10. That's a Ben 10 alien. Golden Glider, Mirror Master, and all of those guys. Weather Wizard. So all of those guys are like the standard Flash villains, not the Turtle, right? But yeah, they tried retconning like the Turtle's abilities. Like, yeah, you know why he could actually slow down time? It's because of the Still Force. You just didn't know. And then they tried adding more. It's gonna take a while. Sorry, it's auto saving. And then they added the Strength Force. Like, oh yeah, you know Wally West's son, how he can just buff up suddenly. Yeah, that's because he can tap into the Strength Force, which is okay, I guess. And then Gorilla Grodd with all his mind reading powers. Yeah, the Sage Force. I'm like, okay, well, not every power needs like a cosmic thing behind it, right? So yeah, anyways, back to, yeah, I mean, if you really want like a good example of how like additional mythos, I personally think how additional mythos is like slowly introduced into like a comic book, like or just any like pre-established characters like mythos. Freaking the Green Lantern mythos was so friggin' ass to begin with. Like, it was so bad to begin with, right? Like, there was a very like little like reason why Green Lantern could do some things and not some other things. I mean, even now he's pretty much written sort of weirdly now. It's a weird time, right? But yeah, they introduced like so for the longest time, like characters like there was the original, quote unquote original, because then they introduced like a Buddhist monk who was also like a Green Lantern for some reason. I don't know. But anyways, the true, I'm gonna say canon, the true canon first Green Lantern. So that was from the Golden Age, and he was part of the Justice Society of America, because yeah, golden age of comics, yay. But yeah, so that guy, I kind of forgot. Why did I forget? It's Alan Scott, right? I remember it was Alan something, but I keep remembering it was Alan Wake. I was like, no, that's a video game character. But yeah, Alan Scott had a weakness towards wood, because, and I think that was later like retconned. So he had a weakness towards like wood, or his power or his constructs would not work against wood, because his ring sort of derived from the earth itself, so it just would not harm itself or something like that. So that's why his ring didn't work on itself. But there's a bigger retcon, or bigger additional I mean, it's a retcon and additional mythos as well. So the bigger retcon was why like the Silver Age Green Lanterns, so Hal Jordan, Guy Gardner, I think that's how you pronounce it, freaking John, I don't know what his last name is, What is his last name? I'm so sorry. I actually like John, but Cal Rayner. Is how you pronounce his last name? Yeah, there's a reason why all the Silver Age lanterns, and subsequently all the characters from the Green Lantern Corps did not. John Stewart. Oh my God, why did I forget about that? But there's a reason why they actually like their constructs could not affect yellow. So Jeff Johns, I know a lot of people don't like Jeff Johns, and rightfully so. I think he is not a good person, but I think he's a great friggin' comic book writer. Like, there's instances where you have to separate the artist from the art, and I think that in this instance, you know, you can acknowledge Jeff Johns as like a crappy person, but still be like, okay, let him cook, right? So Jeff Johns, what he did was that he introduced this idea of the emotional spectrum, where green, which derives its power from the emotion of willpower, isn't the only lantern or the ring slingers, as they call them in the universe. There are other rings in the universe which derive its power from different sources of emotion. So pink is love, indigo is compassion, yellow is fear, yellow is avarice or greed, red is rage, blue is hope, and I think that's it, right? Obviously there's some weirder ones like the ultraviolet spectrum, where it's like guilt, and then there's like gold, where it's like happiness, and then there's like things like black, which is death, and then white, which is life. So there's all these weird things, and there's also like the Omega lanterns, which is weird, and there's also like the Phantom ring or whatever, which is like lets you like get all like which changes color depending on what the user is feeling. It's a whole bunch of things. But what Jeff Johns did was that he introduced that. He also introduced that the reason why Green Lantern could not, or any Green Lantern part of the Green Lantern Corps could not affect yellow was because the Guardians actually trapped. So the Guardians are like the little blue aliens from the that sort of like watch over the Green Lanterns. So the reason why they could not affect yellow was because they actually trapped the entity. Okay, so there's gonna be more things. So each emotion, each spectrum actually has their own like entity, right? Each entity embodying that emotion, right? So yellow is fear. So fear has this entity called parallax, which is this weird like bug thingy, which is cool design. Like I think that every entity has some really cool designs, but the main one are mainly Ion. So Ion is the entity of will, and then Parallax, which is the entity of fear. So the Guardians, I think it was the Guardians, actually trapped Parallax, the entity of fear, into the central battery. So every Lantern Corps has this giant battery in the center of their home base, which serves to power like every ring in like of every like core member, right? So they trapped that entity of fear in the central battery, which caused every ring to be unable to be unable to affect yellow, which is interesting, right? And then the other retcon that Jeff Johns did, I almost said Grant Morrison. I don't know why I said Grant Morrison, But the other retcon that he did, since he introduced Parallax, was that there's this old comic where Hal Jordan, friggin', I think oh man, I don't remember which villain did it, but Hal Jordan's homeland was basically destroyed by a villain, and then friggin' that caused like Hal Jordan to go insane, and then he attempted to rebuild everything using his powers, and he got like white hair, and then he tried like doing like friggin' becoming God or whatever. It was a whole mess, and he basically killed off the entire Green Lantern Corps, and then that's how Kyle Rayner was introduced, because that's he was supposed to be the last Green Lantern after everyone else had died at the hands of Parallax. So introduced that, but then they retconned that. Yeah, Parallax actually possessed Hal Jordan during that moment of fear of when he was grieving for his lost city, and that's why he became evil during that era, because he it was like a weird switch. I mean, a lot of, if you read comics, you'll see like a lot of weird decisions here and there, and then throughout the years, like writers will try and pick it back up and try and like rectify that solution, right? One example is friggin' oh my god, One More Day by Spider-Man. Oh my god. So there's a very infamous Spider-Man comic called One More Day, and it is like, I think everyone just hates it because it is so bad. It is like it is the worst decision that anyone has ever made regarding friggin' Spider-Man. So when it comes to comic book publishing like studios, so when it comes to things like DC, and then you also have people like Marvel, when it comes to their golden gooses, or golden geese I guess in this case, when it comes to their golden geese, so for DC it's Batman, and for Marvel it's Spider-Man. So they're the S tier characters, right? And when I meant S tier, it doesn't refer to like power or whatever. S tier mainly refers to, or tiers in this case refers to popularity, right? So back then the really like the big three back then for comic book characters were Batman, Superman, and Spider-Man, right? So they're the big three, right? Everyone knew about them, no exception, right? So regarding Spider-Man and Batman, regarding those two characters, their respective editorials, so when it comes to writers, usually you have the writer who writes something, and then you also have the editorial, which basically controls what gets put out there in terms of like story, in terms of like story beats and whatnot, right? Editorial has this really weird obsession with keeping, I'm saying this in the context of I guess everything, right? Comic book editorials have this really big obsession with keeping the status quo. So in regards to Spider-Man, his status quo is being, yes, relatable teenage boy, right? So he's supposed to be the relatable one because he's supposed to be the character that every child relates to, the normal kid that gets bitten by a radioactive spider, and then he can now do heroics, right? He was never like this big character with godly powers. He was just a normal kid, and that supposedly makes him relatable. It went up to the point where editorial just would not let Spider-Man drink alcohol in any comic book panel, because it was like, no, he's forever young. So they're really addicted to making the status quo like permanent, right? And so there's this story called One More Day, and this is the most infamous story that sort of tries to actively keep up with the status quo, because essentially throughout like the years of comics, they slowly let like the comic book characters age up and whatnot, and that happened to Spider-Man, which is nice. Yay, finally he's aging up. So they let him get in a relationship with Mary Jane, which is nice. And then they were going to have a kid, they were going to get married, and yay, all good, right? Nope, because turns out after the events of Civil War, so Civil War was that, I mean, I think everyone knows by now what Civil War is, but Civil War was essentially this comic book event which divided like characters, right? It went from Captain America to Tony Stark, which is Iron Man. So Steve Rogers, Captain America, and Tony Stark and Iron Man. So initially, so how it actually worked, how it went down in the comics was that there's actually I think it was a young group of superheroes were actually fighting a villain called Nuke, and it got out of hand. So Nuke, being the name that he is, freaking explodes and kills so many people, which then like caused like a whole protest against superheroes. They're like, can we really allow like superheroes without like supervision and whatnot? It's like, okay, so we're gonna need a registration. We're gonna need an act against superheroes. So we're gonna have them like, so everyone who wants to be a superhero will have to publicly unmask themselves. So then they're like, okay, they're registered now. So it forced every comic book character to be registered and then recognized in the public. And initially, Spider-Man was like, yeah, I'm all for it, right? So Tony Stark was for the registration, which is like, okay, that's fine, right? That's fine. And then yeah, Captain America was against, because it goes against his like policy of like privacy, right? And whatnot, which I would actually stand with that, because like, what the hell, man. But on the other hand, I would also like I would also understand like the other side, like they need to be like, they need supervision, right? For some groups especially, right? So honestly, both sides, I don't think any side was particularly right, or either side was particularly wrong. I just think that everyone was sort of written horribly out of character during those events, which is kind of interesting. But that's how comics are, right? Sometimes you get like instances where like, what? That doesn't even make sense. And there's times you're like, yeah, now that's the hero I grew up with, right? So there's instances of that all over the place, right? But yeah, so initially Spider-Man was like, yeah, I'm for the registration. I think that this is great. And everyone who didn't register, so everyone who didn't unmask themselves on like live TV, was labeled a vigilante, and then all the registered heroes could hunt them down and then put them in prison and then lock them away, which is something, right? So that happened. So initially Spider-Man was 4, and then Aunt May got shot by Kingpin. So Kingpin is, yeah, that guy. I think everyone knows who Kingpin is by now because of the Spider-Verse movies, which is nice. But yeah, so Kingpin was like, okay, this little friggin' bug ruined my plans once too many times, so I'm gonna order a hit on him, or at least like one of his like family members near him, right? So Kingpin goes and he's like, okay, I'm a end his entire family, right? So then that caused Aunt May to be shot, and then Peter was like, oh, I screwed up. I should have never done that. I should have never revealed my secret identity on live TV, which is like, yeah, no crap. Like the whole reason why Spider-Man never always puts on a mask was, well, obviously they don't see how young he is, but also he's afraid of people finding out that he's Spider-Man, that he like the people around him, they do get affected by the fact that he like is a superhero. Like just the first instance, like one of the biggest like markers of a Spider-Man comic. Wow, the moment Gwen Stacy died. Oh wow, that's because like Green Goblin knew that Spider-Man had affection for Gwen Stacy. Oh boy. Wow. I wonder how this time, how unmasking yourself publicly is gonna affect the people close to you. Right? It's so obviously there are some really stupid moments in friggin' Civil War, but it's whatever, right? Whatever. So yeah, Kingpin shoots. The hitman that Kingpin shoots. The hitman that Kingpin hires to shoot Aunt May is the catalyst for Peter being like, okay, I'm a lose it now. So Aunt May gets shot, and so Peter is like, okay, you know what? This is bullcrap. This is bullcrap. I hate all of y'all. I can't lose another person. So Mephisto, who is the friggin' literal devil himself, comes up and he's like, okay, you want to save your aunt, huh? Well, I got news for you. If you trade in your marriage with between you and Mary Jane with me, I am going to save Aunt May. Which is like, you're kidding me. Can you guys like make friggin' Spider-Man happy like for once? And I guess not, because they retcon, or at least they make him miserable every single time. Every single time for like every time they try and make him like happy, they're just like, nope, screw you. And it's like, oh, okay, I guess. So yeah. So that's Civil War, and so that's just them trying to maintain the status quo, which is fine, I guess. Annoyingly enough. But yeah, recently there's been I think it was like a couple of years back now. So I'm trying to find the the writer who wrote Spider-Man before the current run. Who was the writer before Zeb Wells for Spider-Man? Okay, where is it? Okay, let me check. So there's a right. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Okay, where is it? Oh, whoops. So Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man. Where is it? I'm trying to find the No, it's not here. Where is it? Hmm. Oh right, Dan Slott. Dan Slott was the writer before the Zeb Wells. So Dan Slott tried his best to retcon the friggin' crap that was One More Day. And then there was also whatchamacallit, I don't remember which one it was. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. All right, so Dan Slott, I have to give credit to Dan Slott, even though I'm not like the always the biggest fan of his works. So Dan Slott, he spent most of his run trying to rectify friggin' two big things about Spider-Man. So there was obviously One More Day, which is the story where Spider-Man trades in his marriage with Mary Jane for his aunt, who's like already 90 something for some reason, because yeah, Spider-Man. And then Sins Past, which is, oh my god, what a garbage heap. What a horrible, like, oh my god, I hate Spider-Man freaking comics. I don't like Spider-Man comics. I don't like most Spider-Man comics. Mainly because it's not even like it's not even like a character issue. It's an editorial issue, because they suck. Like, editorial sucks ass for Spider-Man. I am actually mad at how badly they're screwing up Spider-Man in the main 616 universe. Like, it is maddening how bad they are at this. So yeah, if you don't know what Sins Past is, it's this horrible story where Gwen Stacy, you know, that one character that Spider-Man dated before she was killed by the Green Goblin. Yeah, apparently she slept with friggin' the Green Goblin in Sins Past when she was underaged, and when she was dating, I think it was either she was dating Harry Osborn, so Green Goblin's son, or she was dating Peter. I don't remember. But that was such a garbage comic. I hate everything about that. You can tell how much I hate this. I hate talking about it too, because it's so bad. Who made the decision to do that? Like, actually, like, someone looked at that and was like, yeah, this is gonna slap. So Sins Past was written by let me check. Sins Past writer. I got no idea who you are. You probably got fired after that. Yeah, so Michael Straczynski wrote Sins Past, and I never heard of him ever again. Oh, he wrote One More Day too. Oh, you're absolute. Okay, yeah. That explains all the. Oh, hi Toll, how's it going? Welcome back. I was ranting about Spider-Man, because I think his comics were horrible. Some guy screwed up his comics, and I'm mad about it. So yeah. But yeah, freaking Michael Straczynski, horrible comic book writer. Okay, maybe he's not bad, but I don't think. What else did he write? Book of Ezekiel, I think. Hold up. What else did he write? Michael Straczynski. Let me check. Michael Straczynski. Okay, what else did he write? So he wrote One More Day, which is horrible. He also wrote from Sins Past. Earth 1, Superman Earth 1. Not really anything remarkable. Not that I'm not trying to be mean, but there's really not much about this that he's writing well. Okay, that's I had a pill. Nice. Okay, hope you feel better then. Okay, so Michael Straczynski did not write anything notable, which is probably explains a lot. I mean, the most notable thing that he wrote was some horrible thing. Understandable. Okay. But yeah. So yeah, Dan Slott tried rectifying that, which kudos to him. He did. He tried changing the fact that Gwen Stacy never had kids with the friggin' Green Goblin. That was just a clone. That was just a clone meant to like tear down like friggin' tear down like everyone or whatever, right? So yeah. Ooh, retcons. At least there was someone who was friggin' smart enough to retcon all those garbage heap of a decision of comic books. And drank some water. Nice. Hydration is very important. Every time I get sick, I'm like so dehydrated. I'm like, oh, I need to drink more water. I am in dire need of water. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna finish up touching up the hair for the line art, and I'm going to head out as well, because I spent the entire stream ranting about how horrible Spider-Man comics were, which in my defense they are, because editorial would not let friggin' Peter be happy, which is probably one of the dumbest decisions I've ever seen, because let the man be happy, right? He's had enough character development over the past 60 years. Let my boy be happy. Samsung or Apple? Neither, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think either of them are particularly good. I mean, I will. I am going to. They both. I think at this point. I think at this point, actually, you know what? I'll take Samsung over Apple. Mainly because they don't only make phones. They also create like a whole bunch of they also create things like appliances and whatnot. I think, right? I'm pretty sure they do. Or I'm tripping. Samsung appliances, right? Okay, I'm horribly misspelled that. Yeah, Samsung has so many home appliances and whatnot, right? So it's like, I'll give them the edge for having like different things in the industry rather than just like phones and whatnot. Apple, on the other hand, can't really I'll give kudos to Apple on a couple of things. The original Apple, at least. So when Steve Jobs was still in charge for Apple, because Steve Jobs did a lot of good things with Apple. Like he was cooking with Apple, like actual he was actually he even man was cooking. So with everything that Steve Jobs did, he tried to actively improve on what he did, right? But the current Apple thing, I can't really chalk up Apple as being good right now. They're really good as a brand. Not good as a tech company. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah, Apple's so expensive. Yeah, Apple is really good at their branding. They are extremely good at their branding. So much so that in the US, they probably hold like I would argue that most people in the US actually use an Apple device. They are very good at making people care about their products. And yeah, so they're a very good brand. As a tech company though, they suck nowadays. They are not that good, I would argue. Which I know a lot of people are gonna complain, especially if they're gonna watch the VODs and they're like, I like Apple. I like Apple. But I'm like, no. Stop. No. Like, okay, Apple makes good products. They make solid products. But there's a couple of caveats regarding Apple. And the first one is price of entry. They are expensive products. Especially you can get some pretty good smartphones nowadays, right? For way less than Apple. The second caveat is once you get one Apple product, if you don't get other Apple products, it is going to be a pain for the other products. Their ecosystem is so friggin' interconnected. It's so closed off that it is a pain using any device that's not Apple when you have an Apple device. One of my friends has a Nokia phone. The old Nokia. Nice. That's pretty good. Is it the brick? Do they just have like the giant brick? A brick phone is good. You know, it's not bad. Not bad. But yeah. It's really funny because Apple is actually getting sued in the US for making their ecosystem way too closed off. Right? So yeah, Apple has this very, very horrible habit of walling off their ecosystem so that the only thing that can interact with their ecosystem is things with the same ecosystem. Which is like, okay, so I can't fully interact with my sister who's using like an Apple product. Okay, well, that sucks. So yeah, they're very good at being obnoxious and walling off they're very good at making their products very exclusive, is what I'm trying to get at. Which kudos to them for being one of the most obnoxious brands for that. Nokia is a brick. What do you want me to call it? I mean, it is a brick phone. They call it a brick phone because it is like quite literally a brick. Okay, wait, what is that? Oh yeah, it's here. Where's it? Oh, here. Okay. I mean, that's good. I mean, their parents are probably restricting like internet access for their child until like they get older, which I understand, right? Because way too many parents, I mean, like 90% of all parents actually give their children like phones nowadays way too early, so then they get addicted to the friggin' internet way too early. Which is like, okay, that's, you sort of don't want to see that. You don't want to see addiction at such a young age. Because when I got my first phone, I think I was like, 12, I think. but it was also like it wasn't like a smartphone. It was like an LG. It was like a pink LG, which is like kind of nice, I guess. Man, it's so sad that LG doesn't make phones anymore. I actually like the LG phones. I actually like the LG phones quite a bit, but no such thing anymore because they decide to pull out from the smartphone market, which is a shame, right? Because I think they made some pretty solid phones. LG overall made some really solid phones, but it's just that no one bought them because they advertised them like crap. But still, they had some pretty solid stuff. What else? Man, it's interesting because I think Apple is the only company where it's like it's seen as like a status item, right? Where it's like, one of my friends has 3 hours of data only. Rip. I mean, good for his parents. Good for their parents, I guess. Gotta keep your kids not addicted to their devices, which I understand. Because there's so many. There's not like an attack to anyone, but so many times, especially with newer parents, I just see like parents like eating at like a restaurant, right? They're just like eating at a restaurant and the kid starts like complaining or whatever, and the parents like, okay, that's fine, and then they just give them their phone to them so then the kids would like be quiet. I'm like, no, why? Stop making them so smartphone reliant. No. Like I know I shouldn't be telling parents how to raise their kids, but also, what the frick? Don't get them hooked on the internet that young. Like these are just like toddlers. Like, just raise your children to where they know the proper social cues, and then we don't have a problem. They're just neglecting their children in favor of, oh yeah, here's a smartphone, and then we don't need to talk about you anymore. It's like, what? That's no. Which again, I shouldn't like tell people how to raise their children, but also I'm concerned for humanity. Right, because there should be moderation for everything. And if you're just gonna let your children get addicted to their cell phone, I mean, it's not even just that they're letting their children get addicted to cell phones this early. It's also kind of negligent if you think about it. Like, child wants attention. Oop, here's your cell phone. Here's your cell phone to keep you distracted for the next like 2 hours, so then you don't disturb my meal. It's very dismissive, sort of, to children. Right? It's like, if you're not ready to have a child, just don't have a child. Not that I'm in any position to say it, but you know, I'd prefer if the future of humanity didn't run on freaking no attention span. Yeah. I may fix this. Okay, I think I might fix this by. Okay, I get the problem. Okay, I think so. Okay, I think I'm gonna end it here for today. Oof, that's gonna be it for me today. Thanks for hanging out with me. And yeah, so generally, if you ask me between Samsung or Apple, I'd say neither. Just go with a cheaper option. There's so many good smartphones out there. Don't don't get bullied into buying like an expensive phone just because it's like what's hip or whatever out there. Because I know like for a lot of people, like Apple is like the status item. It's like, oh, you can get bullied with that if you don't have an iPhone. That's like, man, really? No, stop that. It's a solid product, but not a great product. But yeah, okay. I'm done ranting. This entire stream was just dedicated to ranting and stuff. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. Thanks for hanging out with me. And yeah, current drawing time is 9 hours and 31 minutes. The recording is currently paused. So after like a moment of inactivity for the drawing program, it just stops recording, which is nice. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. Bye bye. See you. Take care, and see you guys next time. Bye bye. Take care and have a good night. All right, see you in like 15 hours, I guess. All right, see you.